this Jamal Khashoggi, um, the writer in the New York paper that was either killed, murdered, or cut over in Istanbul. I think it was the second of the month. He hasn't been heard from since the 2nd of October, and it's a strange story, but it's caused a lot of things, a lot of ill will between um, the United States, Saudi Arabia, and also Turkey. Um, but this guy had an interesting background. He was born in 1958 from a prominent Saudi family. Um, and several years later, he got his bachelor's degree from Indiana State University. And then uh, he started his career as a journalist in the 80s and 90s, and he become chief editor of a Saudi Arabia paper called Watan newspaper, but he got fired real quick after that. And then in June 2010, he was put on a news channel, had his own news channel. But one of the things, recently he started making some derogatory comments about the Saudi government, 5 or 6, and he was putting some of those comments in the newspaper that he's a writer at, or is, or it, right now. And these comments made supposedly the Saudis mad, and some of the side information is that's why they had him killed, because he was killed. He was at a Saudi office building over in Istanbul, and then they come out and left. The question, supposedly he never came out, so he was either shot, killed, or he was cut to pieces. Now, the people in Istanbul, they say they have tapes and all that, and they know what happened to him, but they won't say, they won't come up with any information. They won't show us nothing. So there were a lot of people mad, and since he was a news reporter, there are a lot of those people in our Congress that are Senate, Congress, that are really mad. And they're saying if it turns out that Saudi did kill him, they're going to pay for it. Now, how they're going to pay for it, I don't know. That could be interesting. Now this guy's 59. He's married, but supposedly he's getting a divorce, and then another girl who has said she's going to marry him. And this was the conversation, and she's younger than he is, and now she's really upset because she hasn't seen or heard from him since October 2nd. But he was going to divorce the first wife that he had for years, and he was going to marry this girl who would be his second wife. But I don't know what's going to happen with this. I know the Saudi Arabian people they've been acting a little strange lately. I know they picked up all the wealthy Saudi Arabians, and they put them in hotels, locked them in hotels a couple of months ago, and they told them, we want your money or your assets. They were trying to get the wealthy people in Saudi Arabia to turn over all their assets to the government. Now, why they did that, I don't know. Because I don't, maybe they need money, I don't know, but they made a lot of people mad, and all of them turned their money over except one, a billionaire, and I don't know how that come out. He said he was staying in that hotel forever, and he wasn't giving him his money. He worked for it. He made. And a lot of these Saudis, there's a big family there, and a lot of them are related and relatives and things like that. A lot of cousins. But the guy seems to be the head guy now is this Mohammed bin Salman. He's only 33 years old. His father is the one that run Saudi Arabia, but his father's had some medical problems, so he appointed him. And he's the guy on the front row right now. And naturally, if they killed this guy, then the next thing is we just got $102 billion military contract with them, and a lot of our congressmen and everybody, they threaten to cancel that because they're not going to. They don't care how much it is. If they killed and murdered this guy, then they don't want them to buy anything from the United States. So if that happens, I don't know, we would lose $102 billion, and that would help us, people working jobs and everything else. So I don't know how it's going to come out, but it is in the news. It's in every newspaper. This guy, I think we showed a picture of him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't look like 60.
No.
Jamal
It's about 40.
Khashoggi, yeah, he looks young. And the girl he's supposed to be marrying is younger now. And she's all upset because she hasn't heard from him since the 2nd of October. So, but they think one thing that started it was he was criticizing the Saudi Arabian government in his articles that he had in the newspaper, and they think that's what started this. Those things he was writing about Saudi Arabia, that they did wrong, they were wrong, and well, anyway, we'll see what happens. But right now, this is the main item in the news, and we'll see what happens. Thank you.